Hey there, y'all. Noah, everyone who reads and must converse is the channel. Happy Friday. Happy Friday reads, all that kind of stuff. Killer. Great to see everybody. It's been an awesome week. What an awesome Friday because it's Zelda's birthday. She's 9 years old and having an awesome time at it. And you might think, well, Noah, if your 9 year old is her birthday, then why are you doing the live? Well, she is with a friend, having a sleepover, doing her whole thing. It's totally awesome. It worked out great. We're gonna do a party tomorrow, and everything. She's just having a great time, and just that, just that whole thing. Seeing her growing up, getting friends, getting more into it, and all that. And we're having a great time at it. It's going to be an awesome weekend. I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you, W.D. Clark, an author friend of the channel. Thanks for coming by. He said, glad they arrived. Sorry, can't be here. Sorry, got to get up at 3 a.m. Trip back to Canada. Have a good time. W.D. Clark made a trip to the States, came up stateside, and so since he was in the United States, sent me his books because it cuts down on international shipping cost, right? Hey, baby. Emily Clemens in the house. That's right. Happy Friday. Yeah, Teeny Tiny is in the house as well. I see like a star. You see that green star next to Teeny Tiny's name? Y'all can get that. Y'all can get that. I have no idea what you need to do, but there's something. You become a member of Everyone Who Reads channel. You become like an exclusive member of my channel or something. I mean, like Teeny Tiny has really figured it out. Y'all hit her up. Just do whatever it takes. I mean, you don't really have to. Idget Reads and Rambles in the house. Hey, Quentin, happy Friday, bro. Nice to see you for sure. I ain't fitting to read that. PG in the house. Saw your latest video, bro. Nice to see you. Always cool. Man, you got the videos down. I like your style a lot. Y'all check out his stuff if you ain't already up on it. What up? Well, what's up? Friday, been reading. It's going to be all over the place tonight. Like, much of my content always is, right? I'm just a varied reader. My interests are very wide, and I've just fallen into, just like always, reading stuff that the genres are so wide. It's just almost like I don't even know how to talk about it, right? Conrob in the house. Howdy, bro. Nice to see you for sure. Paulie in the house. Paulie X. Howdy, brother. The Falcon reads. Tyler. Nice to see you, man. Hope she has a happy birthday. That's right. 9 years old was a pivotal year for me. Very cool. Very cool. She's living her best life. Zelda is totally living her best life. I love it. It's an important star. For sure. For sure, Teeny Tiny. Cool and Idget. That's right. Nick Voro, happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. Another of the awesome Canadian authors that have come through and been part of the core of this channel. So, I started this channel off with reading some Canadian authors by covering Neil Peart's writing. I'm a big Rush fan. I love Rush. And Neil Peart wrote all of the lyrics to Rush and was a very big reader. And I read his travel log, kind of a travel memoir called Ghostwriter. And it's a very moving read. He was going through he had lost his wife to brain cancer, I believe. And before that, they had both lost their only daughter to a car accident. And it's just a horrific amount of loss. And he had nothing really left outside of what he had brought to the table in his life, of course, with Rush, but, who to share it with, kind of thing. And he gets on his motorcycle and rides, and he covers a completely insane amount of ground. So I don't know. I don't know how to really explain it. I did 2 videos on that book because it is very affecting. Even though it is this kind of travelogue, there's this darkness that he's running from most of the time in this book that is just kind of behind and underneath everything that's going on. It's an interesting read, to say the least. In a casino right now, Conrob. Have some fun, bro. Good luck, for sure. If you're in Niagara, come say hey. Man, we're spread out all over the place. The Everyone Who Reads community is spread out all over the globe, baby. Am I right? How's she go? Yeah, man. Y'all are great. Alexa's in the house. Happy Friday, brother. All the way from Serbia. See, that's what I'm talking about. All the way across the whole globe here. I'd love to see you guys. Well, what? Didn't Pert himself die of brain cancer? That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, what a tragic story Neil Peart's life, ended up being. And yeah, he just died of brain cancer the year that I started the channel. Right before I had started the channel, so it was 99. And wow, Gore Vidal, yeah, it's very interesting, but his writing, he wasn't, a great writer. It comes across as a lot of, if you like travel logs, food, setting, and places, this kind of thing, then you're gonna like it because it's a lot of listing of that kind of thing in his writing. But as a reader, as a perceptive reader, you can see the kind of darkness underneath, and he does call it out specifically a few times, that of why he's doing what he's doing, why he's keeping on. He went like 50,000 miles in the course of, a couple of months, just going up and down the West Coast, across and back and across Canada. So it's wild. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys all hanging out. Okay. Yeah, we got quite a few here. So I'll start off with some haul action just to get some out of the way. We'll start with W.D. Clark because, like I said, he had just come across the border and sent me his 2 books that are published through Coronasamas.press, which I'm very grateful for because Rick is putting out so much literature that it's hard to keep up, right? And She Sang to Them, She Sang is something that had come out maybe a year ago. Corona Summers maybe more. And I had not got to it. Put out in the paperback, the pocketbook size. You can see here. These little pocket books. This one, 430 pages, pocketbook style. Still, probably still a quick read, right? The pages being something like this, you can read, 2 pages is the size of, 1 page, maybe reading, right? I'm starting my OnlyFans this year, if you will. Yes. So, I'm glad Clark, thank you, sir, for sending me She Sang to Them, She Sang. And then Corona Summers also in the full size form published his work, White Mythology. So he sent me this one. Very well done. Corona Samizdat does good work, and they just have great covers. There's more to this cover than just to show it, because in my reading these weeks, I've been getting into Alan Moore's Promethea, and still, am getting into it because it's awesome. It's epic. And it really serves as a primer for someone who is interested in the occult, someone who's interested in Kabbalah, especially Jewish Kabbalah, or Hermeticism, especially. But anything based on the tree of life, because Promethea is actually a cosmology. I'll get to it a little more later. Mr. Clark, thank you, sir, for sending me those books, and I'll jump right into. I had made a purchase from Corona Samizdat myself. It was time, right? Because, like I said, Rick is putting out so much stuff that I can't keep up. So every once in a while, I make an order. Okay, so I got Zachary Tanner's. This is a buddy that is in the States here in Louisiana. Some features of living matter in the neighborhood of the sun. This is a little novella that is put out in the paper, our pocketbook format. Going to be a quick read and give me some to go on for Zachary's work. Definitely looking forward to it. Oscar Submerges I got, but quickly off getting it, I did a book trade, and I traded it. I don't think Zach will mind too much, but I did. I traded it. And, somebody else has access to his work now, but I didn't have it to read. So now I have that to get into. I can't wait. Right. What a title. And then I picked up the Ratto letters. I tell you, Tendrolopolis is a paper book, a pocket book that's available through coronasamas.press. It's just a riot, okay? And it's erotica and letters, and the Ratto letters is more of the same, but Tendrolopolis was so fun, and I do have a dedicated video on my channel for Tendrolopolis if you want to check it out. I don't share too much because why spoil it, and it's very graphic, so I'm not, gonna put it out there in people's face like that. Go get it if you want it. But Rick did a video where he was sharing some of the Ratto letters and reading some of this. I was dying. I was laughing my butt off. It is hilarious. So, Vinsar Radic, or Radich, is the title or the author of that one, the Ratto letters, and I definitely can't wait to get to it myself. I get what I want, through coronasamas.press. When it comes down to it, I'd love to support everybody, but I'll get there eventually, right? I can only do what I can do. So I went ahead and grabbed that, and then I had so much fun reading some Lee D. Thompson that my boy Nick Voro had turned me on to. Lee D. Thompson's work, that I picked up the book that is published through Corona Samizdat by Lee D. Thompson. This is A Pastoral. This is a novel that is bleak and funny, downbeat, but bumptious. You can see Lee inverting Moore's ideas, professions, moods, logic, and the bestial nature of the human animal in ways that says this is all madness. And that is a blurb on the back, written by another Canadian author, Jeff Bursey. And very cool. Such a little Canadian powerhouse group published through coronasamas.press. Definitely down to get into it. Thanks for always being so wide in your publications, Rick. We really appreciate it. I appreciate it in the United States here. You guys, overseas, always, appreciating the, just, what press is printing deep European cuts like this, Argentinian literature of the highest order, the flamethrowers. Very grassroots, experimental, mind blow literature like America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots. They're just doing everything. And so there we go. The main reason why I went to purchase a brick from Rick now rather than later was because of the publication of Roberto Arlt's The 7 Madmen, the Flamethrowers, right here. And Rick has a wonderful video that just dropped today. It actually just dropped like 2 hours ago, where he's talking about this publication and what an event it is, because The 7 Madmen, the Flamethrowers is one book published in 2, because Roberto Arlt published The 7 Madmen and held back the Flamethrowers, and then it just was a literature and publication faux pas, mishap, whatever, to never have the Flamethrowers fully translated. So now it is translated, and now we have it, and I can't wait. Twisted Spoon Press for deep European cuts. There you go. Very cool. Very cool, PG. Yeah, Rick does a great service to literature, and you can feel his love and attention and the passion that has gone into his publication of The 7 Madmen, the Flamethrowers. Look over to Jack. He did a Argentinian literature video not too long ago, Jack at Rambling Raconteur, where he said that Roberto Arlt and The 7 Madmen is one brilliant book and glorious. And so I've started reading it now, and let me tell you, it's a powerhouse. I mean, it's really, really strong. I can't say too much about what it's doing because I'm just at the beginning. Very short chapters, bite size, but very, very strong. And he's given you just what you need to take you to the next, and it is plotting, heavy steps to wherever we're going. And I can't wait. I'm definitely into it. Another thing that came through with W.D. Clark, thank you for sending me these postcards, brother. A couple of coronasamas.postcards for the 2 publications, and I appreciate that. Very cool to have some ephemera, right? Very cool. Amphetamine sulfate for transgressive stuff. Nice. Very cool, Quentin. Y'all take note. We got recommendations coming out in the chat. So I'm slowly getting through Wise Blood, just taking my time with it. I'm halfway through. Hazel Motes and Lily Hawks are having their roll in the hay. He's come in contact with the, brand new little baby Jesus. For those of you who know, it's ridiculous. It's hardcore. It's grotesque. And I can't wait to get to this climax. One of my favorite parts is coming up, which is when Hazel Motes is on his car preaching to folks that are coming out of the movie theaters, right? And he's kind of accompanied by some guy with a guitar who wants to be part of the show, who wants to kind of support him, and it's just ridiculous. It's, Hazel Motes can't, has no community, has no ethic. So Hazel Motes rejects everything. He denies everything. He's in a state of unbelief about everything. And he rejects this guy. And there's an awesome exchange. We'll get to it in our wrap up, which I believe will be next Friday, right? Last Friday of January, we'll have the guys and girls from Flannery O January back on. That's Una at the Codex Cantina, Christy over at Dostoevsky in Space, Victoria at A Musical Bookworm, Tiffany at Beautiful Minutia, and I believe that's it. We'll all be on. We'll be talking Flannery and our experience with Flannery through the month. Reading Wise Blood. I'm going to watch Wise Blood again once I finish it before the live. And then we'll see what everybody's got into and dig into it a bit. There's a lot to go into, right? Kate Flannery. Never heard of her. Come on, Quentin. If you haven't heard of her, I feel sorry for you. But it's not inconceivable that one of my Canadian brethren would not come in contact with Flannery O'Connor. For sure. She is immensely Southern and not someone as big as, say, a Faulkner and or Steinbeck or something like this. So I get it. But Flannery is one of the greats and one of my favorites of all time. Just in the way that she is dark and her mood and her wit and how she, kind of takes a slant eye at things just really is, I resonate with it. And so I push her all the time. Even my channel name came from Flannery O'Connor, of course, right? Everything that rises must converge. And I just use the same syllables and alliteration. So I wanted to pay homage to her just even with my channel name because of how much she's affected me as a writer and with her literature. She was such a perfectionist. All right, enough Flannery O'Connor. We'll do some more Flannery next week when we have everybody on, right? And then I'll do Flannery all week. I won't worry about gushing and going on and on about Flannery when it's time for that, right? Happy Friday, everybody, by the way. It's just been killer. So, like I said, Promethea is just amazing. I'm not finished with it yet because this book really, if you want to take it in and take it for what it is, you have to spend some time with it. This book is not just a comic and not just a story. It is actually a primer for occult and esoteric knowledge. You have a complete cosmology put forth by Alan Moore. And it's not his own cosmology. It's Kabbalah. It's Hermeticism. And anybody that has come in contact with the tarot and what the tarot really is, what it's meant to elucidate, will love it. I would say you definitely want experience with Crowley's Book of Thoth before experiencing Promethea if you want to get the most out of it. Crowley's Book of Thoth is a beautiful, beautiful deck. Tarot deck is what it is. The book is not essential, but I definitely recommend it. Go ahead and just check out the Book of Thoth, all right? Because you'll get a lot of the background and just explanation of the cards. The cards are actually the paths on the Kabbalistic tree of life, which is a glyph. And it's everywhere in Promethea. It is what Promethea is about, you know? It's about the Kabbalah. It's about this esoteric knowledge of life that is underneath our regular experience. And by underneath, I mean symbols and the meaning behind things. You see the tree in between these panels, those spheres and paths that connect the spheres. That's the tree of life. And it just finds its way in and through the story of Promethea. It's in the hopscotch on the ground there. But ultimately, Promethea and another character end up simply traveling through the Kabbalah itself. So going on a journey. And you're going on a journey through the planes of existence, through reality, with a complete goddess. I mean, are you seeing this? Okay? Just full on goddess level teaching. And it's amazing. No, there's gems everywhere in this. All right. I'll show some of the tarot while we're doing this. So the paths that Promethea takes are the tarot itself. And the places that she goes are these big levels of being that you can be on, that you are on. Right? And Alan Moore does such a freaking amazing job. And J.H. Williams III is the artist that did this. And it's just unbelievable how inventive these scenes are. The transitions from one to the next, you can see something like this. I mean, just look how gorgeous. Almost every single couple of pages like this is a full spread with, the two pages, they work together. Almost every single time, the two pages work together to form. I showed this my last live. I'm reading 7 Madmen now. I'm actually reading 7 Madmen now. I've already started it. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I'm going to keep reading it until I finish. I'm going to do the whole thing, 7 Madmen and the flamethrowers. I'm going to do that right now. So it's on. I couldn't wait. When I got this book in the mail, I started it that day, and just simply because my reading is light, I was thinking about what I was wanting to read, and because I was doing Wise Blood, which is a very short work, a very easy read. So Wise Blood, and I wanted to do Promethea, the whole series, and then I'm dragging that out, just letting that really permeate. I'm probably going to put out some material on Promethea next week. I mean, this coming week, because it's that awesome, and there's a lot to say. So, been having fun with that. So then, Promethea is a graphic novel. I just kind of, I'll read one graphic novel a day. So it's just choosing whether I go at one or I just kind of sit in one for a while, because I will read a graphic novel quickly and then I'll go back and experience some of the pictures and things like that more and more and more, because there's depth to what's being said and how it's delivered in the pictures. So I don't let that kind of stuff usually have enough say, because I'm not big on graphic novels, right? I don't read them very often. So I'll go back and give that space to a graphic novel, and Promethea is definitely one that requires it. Alan Moore really meant for the series to be this kind of comprehensive elucidation of Kabbalah, of occult knowledge and esoteric perspective. He's done that very knowingly, and J.H. Williams III had to be very into it as well. I don't know who J.H. Williams III is, but he's got to be into esoterica and things like this, because so much of these imaginary ways of bringing out these scenes visually is inspired, like completely inspired. I haven't gotten to this part, but see, they're not afraid to do something new all the time. These panels and just stories within stories, it is it's just awesome. And the whole idea of it is Promethea is the goddess of the imagination itself. Promethea is imagination, and imagination is creativity itself. So it is a fundamental power of God. Like, it is a highest power. Maybe the only highest power, right? So Promethea is a complete goddess, but it's not that Promethea is knowledge, okay? Promethea doesn't know everything. And, coming into contact with something like this after having my own experience with esoterica is really awesome. It's one of the most perceptive and best representations of the occult and esoterica that's out there. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, and it sounds like I'm speaking, Chinese when I say, occult knowledge and esoterica and stuff like that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is like the number one thing that you could get to bring you into a kind of knowledge or ideas that might be outside of your bookends of your life, right? It's something like this, because it's so accessible, beautifully done, yet talking about things that you know, s- just nobody. It's not there. I mean, even people that are talking about this kind of stuff might be just blowing smoke up your ass, right? And just like have no idea what they're talking about, right? I see that kind of stuff. I hear that kind of stuff all the time. Because when it comes down to esoterica and occult, most people have no idea what they're talking about. And everything fits into those words because they're not defined. They are a catch-all kind of thing, right? Nice. Yeah. I don't read a lot of manga, but I will, as I have to it has to be a full storyline. For me to get into a graphic novel, it has to be a full storyline where I can read it all, get into it all, right? But it also has to be exceptional, right? I'm not into just whatever. Some more resources for tarot. I wanted to bring it out. If you're into a little more of the traditional kind of stuff, of course, there's the Rider Waite. This is the most known kind of deck there. But if you want to bridge that traditional into the esoteric a bit, it's this right here, Meditations on the Tarot. This was written um, anonymously, but now it is known who was the author. And there's an introduction or an afterword here by Cardinal Hans Urs von Balthasar, and this is really, really good, really great. But I would recommend this, and also getting into something like the Book of Thoth, because the thing about the tarot is that it's all symbols, okay? And in symbology, things have a tendency to take on shades based on your own personality, right? Something that is tinged with horror for you may not be so for the next person, and vice versa, right? And something that is uniquely beautiful to you may be common looking to somebody else, and vice versa. Something like that, right? So with symbology, there is this wiggle room. A symbol is something that is malleable in its meaning, and broad and wide, these kind of things. It gathers meanings, and it also sheds meanings, things like this, through ages, these kind of things. So with symbols being able to be malleable like that, the best thing to illustrate that is the Book of Thoth, and how it approaches the tarot. Because what Crowley was trying to do with the Book of Thoth is um make it more modern, right? More current. That's what he wanted to do. The moon card. He wanted to update the tarot for the 20th century, right? And now we're even past here, right? The Crowley Thoth deck here was done in 1927, I believe, is when it was finished. Somewhere around there. The sun. And there's all this mathematical stuff in the Crowley Tarot, fractal, Mobius strips, and there's a lot of symbols hiding within the images, right? Like the egg here, something like that, right? The Empress and the Emperor. I'll give you a couple at the same time, let you see how they kind of uh, relate, right? The fool in the Crowley Tarot is like this. It's Percival, right? So the Hermit is covered in these stars, and so you see there's just a huge amount of symbology. You can't help but think of the number 5 when you look at the Hierophant here, right? Something like that. And look at the lines behind the Magus. This is the Magician in the Rider-Waite Tarot, right? Amazing card, just an amazing. I mean, and the Hanged Man. So I love this stuff. Love it, love it, love it. As you can tell, I'm sure. I mean, you know, I've already started showing more. But the Hermit. Adjustment, which is justice. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So, if you like that kind of stuff, or if you don't know and you want to come in contact with this kind of stuff in a way that, like, you know, gives you something to go on, Promethea is just a freaking awesome place to start. I can't wait to talk about it more. I will. Yeah. I will do some content on Promethea soon. Once I finish it. Because it's just, I mean, so much to talk about. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go crazy. Alan Moore is really one of my favorite authors of all time, and he really goes hard. He's not afraid to really hit the gas on ideas that he has, to go all out on it, and then let the chips fall where they may, you know? I'm so happy that I came in contact with Promethea. I think that Gore, that you were one that suggested it to me. And I really appreciate that. You know, one of the greatest things about having this channel is you guys and the support and the suggestions and all this kind of thing. And when I was suggested Promethea, it immediately struck me as interesting. And so I kept it on my radar, you know, and then gathered the graphic novels here over the course of a year or more, right? Finally got them. And I'm immensely happy to having come in contact with this. Just killer stuff. And I just want to thank the community. Not just for that, but also because, you know, you guys support me more than anything just by being here and being part of what I do here. So I want to give back. And as you guys know, I wrote a short story. I'm very happy with it. I really am. I know that it's not, you know, perfect. It's not anything that is, you know, groundbreaking and something like this, but it is me. And it is something that I'm happy with. I'm glad that I did it. I'm very happy with the level of my writing and that kind of thing. Thank you so much for everybody. And I want to just give it out. So I will say that if you give me an email, my email is available on the About page of my YouTube channel here. If you give me an email, I will just give it to you. I'm going to shoot you a PDF. And I would love to hear feedback and all that kind of thing. I have recorded an audio version of it. I might redo it. I was wanting to get it done before tonight, but I wasn't quick enough because I want to do some captions with it, right? So that you can read along with it. So I didn't do the captions. So I didn't get finished. So I'm not going to give it out right now, but I am going to post it in audio with like some video to go along with it, right? On my channel on Sunday. So in the description box of that, I'm sure will be some way that you can get it if you want it to read it yourself as well. But I'm going to put it out just on the channel like that in an audio form with captions, and we'll see who likes it, right? Or who doesn't, and who doesn't care. But it is what I've been doing. So I figure I did it, so I should put it out there. I should have the courage to release it. And I'm going to do that. Just let it out and let it free, right? So thank you very much, y'all. What? What is going on? Y'all are so funny. Thank you very much, Nick. Nick Voro did get in on, I have shared it with Nick already, and thank you for wonderful feedback, Nick. Thank you very much for wonderful feedback. It definitely, I'm happier with the story because of our talking and help with it. And I'm done with it. You know, I'm done with that story. I don't want to revisit it. I don't want to, you know, try to polish it or something like this anymore. Something like that. I'm happy with it, so I'm just going to let it out there. Be looking out for that, or send me an email, whatever's good, and you can get it now. If you send me an email, if you want to wait for Sunday, you can get it with the when I drop the video. It takes me about 15 minutes to read it. So that's what it's going to be, a 15-minute video. And then it'll be out there. So very cool. It took a little bit for me to get there with it, you know, but when it comes down to the why, you know, I just ask myself, why do I write? And it's kind of to let people read it is part of it. I don't write to not share it. You know, it's not just for me. My writing is not just for me. I have writings like that. You know, I have things like that are just for me, that are you know, to help work through something, whatever, deeper into something, whatever. But when I write something like writing a story like this, it was always and forever to share. And so I just figure I'm going to do it, and do it all out, right? Thank you very much, y'all. That's it. I just wanted to save that one for the end and just let you guys know that it will be there. Y'all let me know. Thank you for crushing some time with me Friday. Happy Friday. Happy birthday, Zelda, my beautiful little 9-year-old. And we'll catch you on the next one, BookTube. See you later. Thank you, everyone, for coming by. Y'all make it very, very awesome. And we'll catch you on the next one Friday for Flannery O January. See you there.